This could be the least hyped driver of 2024, the driver with the least amount of marketing spent on it, but also one of the most talked about drivers and the best reviewed drivers of the year. Hi everyone, my name is James Robinson and welcome back to this YouTube channel. Today we have a driver that could potentially rival the new Callaway offering, the new TaylorMade offering, the new Ping G430 Max 10K offering, and it's a Mizuno driver. Now that's something which we don't always see when Mizuno release drivers. I'll hold my hands up, I've tested a lot of them in the past. They are getting better and better and better, but that's because they used to be really, really bad. Introducing the brand new Mizuno ST Max driver 230. This is part of Mizuno's ST driver lineup, and this is all about one thing: stability and forgiveness. Two things. I had stability in my head and I just wanted to add forgiveness because potentially this could be one of the most forgiving drivers of 2024. It's jam-packed full of technology, just like you would anticipate a new driver release of 2024. Today we've been in the studio, tested it for numbers. I'll get to those in a second. You're going to be really interested by them. We're also going to test it out here on the golf course where it counts. So without any further ado, let's go. So one of the huge elements behind this club and the aspect behind it is the weighting ratio. So you can imagine we've got this carbon crown. I think that looks fantastic actually. We've also got a huge 54 gram weight in the back, which I can't quite believe. Like the strategic weight, which I can't quite believe. Try saying that quick, honestly. I'm going to keep this in. The strategic weighting behind this is huge for stability, hence max stability. But I've hit some already inside and I really like how it feels and sounds, and that is a huge element of when you are buying. And that didn't even feel like a centre strike. It was a little bit high and a little bit out the toe. But what I really like about that is just how easy it was to launch and how little movement it had on it in the air. That's one of the factors that Mizuno are really trying to get out of this. You're trying to see players that don't want to move the ball a lot in the air, want to see nice straight shots, want to see, to be fair, long and forgiving shots. And don't be surprised to see this in the hands of a couple of tour players, which is ridiculous because it's designed for forgiveness. But I always think when you look at what drivers tour players are actually using, they're using the club that makes them the most money because it's a business. And if standard everyday golfers did the same thing and thought, right, I'm going to use the driver that actually performs best for me, you'd be surprised a lot of people don't. You start to play better golf. So let's see if we can hit another shot like that, because that, as a first shot outside with this club, was really, really nice, to be honest. Really enjoyed the ball flight. It was that perfect ball flight window, and it didn't go left. It didn't feel like my best golf swing. And if I can get performance out of what's not my best golf swing, and that's a carbon copy, that really is absolutely gorgeous, you know. This is a very, very interesting video for me because I've always enjoyed Mizuno products. I've loved Mizuno irons for years and years and years. The drivers, like, they come out and they come out and they come out again. And I mean, when it's not blue, to be honest, I think, thank the Lord it's not blue. But then when you hit one that feels this good, hats off to Mizuno. Put it back on because it's time for a haircut again, actually. But hats off to them, because to be able to diversify the brand from obviously making probably the best forgiving forged irons that you can make and the best players irons that you can make, to making this, fair play to you. Because having hit the shots to get the numbers with this, you might be surprised as to just what kind of spin rates you can get, just kind of what ball speed you can get, and how this might go toe to toe with some of the higher end. I say higher end, £499 this, so it's not exactly low end, is it? But can we hit another one? I've just hit that one a touch left, but again, it's not moved much in the air. That's still down there actually as well. It's got quite lucky to avoid all those trees. Let's jump inside. Let's see just how these drivers do perform. And also let's take a look at just what technology is in it to see why it performs potentially so good. And I think to get to the bones of why this is potentially the dark horse of 2024, the most spoken about driver of 2024, even when the likes of TaylorMade, Callaway, Cobra, even Ping have ploughed millions and millions into their marketing budget, we're going to have to get the numbers, we're going to have to test it and see just how this spec goes. It looks really good down at the ball, as we've already mentioned. Outside, how forgiving is it? Because this isn't quite 10,000 inertia. but I've been told from a reliable source that it's not far away. That felt really, really nice. Quite a high ball flight, which you would anticipate for a club with so much weight backwards. That actually sounded gorgeous, you know. Let's go a couple more. Now that's the shot that I'm really interested to see. That's a really nice penetrating fade down the left-hand side. That felt so good. Like numbers-wise, realistically, if we come in and have a look at this, you can see 265 carry running up to 278. Still 3001 spin, so it's still quite a high spin, but 162 ball speed. If I can average that and knock that spin down, potentially, we could be onto something. 4 left. That flight, time after time after time, it really is. Oh, stop it. Rob, bring him in and show him this one. This is the one that really makes you wonder about this club. That's a 270 carry, running up to 285 yards. I've managed to get the spin down on that one to just 3,000, and we've got 164 ball speed out of a Mizuno. So one of the things I'm really impressed with about this driver is the front to back dispersion. You can see here, this is the one that I thought had gone left. We have the first shot here, and we have the middle shot that faded back just there. So 2 in the fairway and 1 just to the left, which was pilot error, which we can all accept. But realistically with this, why are the reviews, thank you Rob, look at the state of these. Happy 2024 everyone. Why have the reviews been so hot around the Mizuno ST Max driver? I saw Andy the Average Golfer's review, or the Average Golfer, no one calls him Andy the Average Golfer apart from me, but what a fantastic review that was. He looked into the forgiveness elements of it, looked into the spec of it and exactly why it's so forgiving, and I personally really enjoyed that. I know Mike Newton made a fantastic review of it as well, and I've also seen a couple of other reviews that just kind of state that this driver does perform really well. I'm not sure about the pricing structure of it. You can get it for $499, I've seen it at $449. You can also get the Ping driver, the Callaway driver, the TaylorMade driver for around similar prices, maybe $499-ish. So in a fitting, if the TaylorMade or the Callaway is kind of stacking up as good, because a lot of times when you get fitted for drivers like this, they will stack up as good. There's not always going to be a clear winner. Would you go for a Mizuno just to be a bit different, or would you go for the TaylorMade or the Callaway or the Ping, or even the PXG? Let's say a couple more. Let's see just if I can continue this rich vein of straight shots, to be honest, with it, because is that the party piece that so many people are potentially missing out on? So where better to finish this test and review than a drivable par 4 carrying out of bounds into the wind? Because if the driver is going to be forgiving, it needs to be forgiving in all elements. I've lost my glove. It's there, look. It's there. It needs to be forgiving in all elements. And this is a shot I would generally take on, actually. It's only around probably a 260 carry, so I should be able to get there even today into this wind. It's all about picking the right flight window here and making sure you actually go far enough right. So I really want to profess here as well just how Mizuno have kind of ticked every box for me with the visuals and the audio and everything else. I think they've done a really good job with this. To say this is a mega forgiving driver that does nearly rival the 10k inertia of some of the other big name drivers, Mizuno just haven't kind of kicked up a fuss about it. This is definitely the best looking one for me. I think it looks really good. It's not kind of a big odd shape. It's just a nice 460cc head with a gorgeous carbon crown. And obviously you get the adjustability on there as well. Can we just play a nice little fade into that wind that's still low spin and gets to the green? I've absolutely ripped that. And that should be perfect. If anything, it might be a touch high, but we're going to have a couple of goes here and see how many times we can maybe hit this green. I'm seeing this a lot recently. I find this is my kind of sweet spot. Just high toe. I like that black face as well because it gives you that bit of feedback as well. So similar shot. Probably a 10-mile-an-hour wind we're into, so the wind's no joke. That's the better ball flight, that's safe, that's definitely safe, and that one's definitely going to be further than the first one because you just saw the difference in trajectory there, and that's where probably spinning a little bit more because I've hit it more out the middle, not out the toe. Need some cleaner golf balls, Rob, don't we, to be absolutely fair, but I'm taking that all day because that is the miss on this hole. You definitely want to be safe. You don't want to be the horrible high right shot. I'm hoping that first one's there. I'm hoping it's not in the bunker. And I think numbers wise with this, looking at it, I can generally tell what I can do on holes like this before we get on them. So, can we try a bang straight one over the corner? Mega attacking line. It's going to have to launch high. That is so good again. You see how I'm like backing off here because I feel like I can hit it really hard. I mean, I've hit that really, really central, haven't I? Still get the forgiveness and potentially hit great shots like that. Let's go and see where this is. I'm really excited by this, and I'm really excited by this driver as well. Guys, get in the comments below, could you see yourself using this in 2024? Let me know. And I think another really interesting element about this driver, and one I really like about it actually, is Mizuno haven't gone attention seeking with the marketing or with the name. So marketing wise, we all know Mizuno make the best irons in golf pretty much, but they're not really well known for the driver. They could have gone and blown a fortune by signing maybe a couple of tour players and using these drivers, but they've not done that. And they've also not called it the Barney. I don't know, I'm trying to think of a random word, but this must be how kind of some of the other big brands sit around a table and think about what we're going to call the next driver. It's going to be this, it's going to be that, it's going to be Quest for whatever, it's going to be, and that's fine. I think if you're a TaylorMade fan or you're a Callaway fan, you kind of like that anyway. You like to be able to know what the next driver's called. But with Mizuno, they're keeping it ST Max, STZ, they're keeping it like mainstream, and I quite like that, I quite respect that. We can see one of them, that was the safe one already, and I can see another one through the trees that is just short of the green. Can we see all three? All three here, visual, will be a success story, definitely. See how the lower ball flight's done a lot better into the wind. Quite difficult actually, because to get the trajectory of the second one on that line, you're probably not going to get it over the trees, but can't see one on the green. Hopefully the one is just in the green side bunker. Any joy? Bunker. So there we go, 3 golf balls safe after going for this green, which is pretty much all carry out of bounds, or over out of bounds, should I say. Interesting how the low flighted one certainly goes a little bit further. I noticed that inside as well. If you can launch it a little bit lower with that lower spin, you are going to get a little bit more out of it. But forgiveness wise, very, very impressed with the brand new 2024 Mizuno ST Max driver.